In this episode, we'll show you how you can apply the microphone techniques you learned on episode 6 to capture drum overheads. We'll also take a brief tour on the different aspects of kick drum mic positioning and hi-hats. The best place to start a drum sound is with the overhead microphones. These mics will tell you how the drums sound, and you'll be able to hear if they are tuned and how the room is adding or subtracting to the sound. To mic the overheads, we'll use the 451s because they're small diaphragm condensers. In the episode 6, you learned several stereo microphone techniques. To capture the sound from the overheads, we are going to use the cardioid XY technique, the spaced pair technique, and a variation of the XY called near coincident. In this configuration, the microphones are placed high above the kit with a 4 to 6 feet gap between them. Each microphone points straight downwards towards the kit. This approach gives a decent stereo image with a lot of differentiation between each side of the kit. This technique follows the principle that the snare should sound as if it is in the center and the toms are spread from left to right. With the crossed pair technique, the microphones are placed high above the center of the kit and crossed to point at opposite sides. This is a very natural sounding way to record because this approach achieves an excellent stereo image and minimizes any phase problems between the two microphones. Let's hear it. In this technique, set up your condenser mics so that they are both in front of the kick drum with a height of about 6 to 7 feet. The mics have to point away from each other. This setup gives a good stereo field with far greater separation of left and right than the XY. Because of this, you should make sure you close mic the hi-hats, otherwise they might be panned a bit too much. The Sennheiser 602 was used to mic the kick drum because it's a large diaphragm dynamic mic, which means it is capable of withstanding the enormous pressure levels delivered by this drum. When miking the kick drum, you'll need to consider what kind of sound you're looking for. To emphasize the tone, either mic outside the skin or inside but pointed towards the shell. Notice when I aim the mic at the center where the beta hits the head, I am emphasizing the attack. You can also combine the attack of an inside-centered mic with the tone of an outside mic. When you close mic a drum, you have to make sure the microphone does not stand in the way of the drummer, thus avoiding the mic being hit. This holds true for the hi-hats as well, and you have to take into account the leverage angle of the hi-hat's movement. Here's a recording of a closed mic hi-hats with a small diaphragm condenser. Here is another recording of the same hi-hats, but this time with a dynamic SM57. Note the lack of high-end congruent with the transient response of this microphone due to the heavy moving coil system.